I heard you guys were talking about Debo a lot yesterday.
It was fun.
There was discussion.
I mean, you see pictures, and you know it is what it is. His body type, whatever. It just it looks a little chunkier than what you might imagine, and so you kill a couple segments with that. I think just for all the HTTC crowd that may be tuning in when they were yesterday, this guy right here, Team Debo, until proven otherwise. So
who's not?
The Cakes was on the fence a little bit.
Chunky Debo.
He's a little bit chunky Debo.
I mean, I thought he'd take his body a little more seriously when he comes to minicamp, but I guess I'm wrong.
No, I think he is. You just don't realize his body type. Like
I saw him up close and personal.
Yeah.
He didn't walk by and make me think, that guy looks like he's out of shape.
Again, I'm watching a 21-second viral clip on the interwebs.
I was literally 2 feet away from him, and I didn't think, that guy's out of shape.
I've already declared he's only going to be here in D.C. for 1 year.
That might be true.
That could be
but
true.
That's also because of a contract
failure.
situation. He could have a great season.
Right.
I'm
and then they can't afford to keep him.
I'm more towards him underperforming what people are expecting. And that's based off, again, it's recency bias and his poor performance last year, which I know was injury marred and he was sick for a lot of the season. I don't have high expectations for Debo.
I'll say this. I was out at minicamp the other day, and it's hard to take any of it seriously. There's no pads.
Right.
None. Half the time, the quarterbacks are on one field, and they're just throwing into a net, and they're running drills and everything. They're stretching. And then I did see them run special teams, and there's no hitting on special teams, but I saw Debo return some kicks, and he looked like he was going fast.
Right.
To me.
I'm sure it's going to be fine.
Now, maybe he's not as fast as the kid that they drafted, Lane.
Yeah.
Now, is Lane more of a punt returner, I think?
I think so.
Versus a kick returner?
I think he can do both if they need him, if they need to press him into action. Look, I hope Debo makes me eat my words. I hope he just makes me eat them, and he has like a 1,300-yard total combined season between rushing and receiving, and then he scores 10 touchdowns. I hope that happens.
You're allowed to have a whipping boy.
I'm just a little pessimistic on it.
I'm hard on Lattimore. I hope I'm proven wrong on Lattimore.
Well, let's play some of the Dan Quinn clips. Let's start with cut 3, Valdez, because this is about Debo, and this is what Coach Quinn said. I don't know if he was aware that people were saying that he was slow, because what was it? It was the Dove Kleinman tweet that really kind of put it out there, saying that he was running slow patterns. I saw that yesterday.
No. Scott Abraham had the footage from camp.
Yeah.
And then
but I doubt Scott would write that.
He was.
But then people retweeting, requoting, and all that.
They saw the clip, and then they noticed how he was running, how he looked. Like Scott didn't go out and say, "Hey, look at Debo running like cakes."
Mm-hmm.
I know. It's
just so easy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. All right, play the first clip.
I think has been very impressive to me for maybe a different reason than I thought. He was such a difficult person to tackle that you spend so much time. How are you going to tackle this person? And somewhere along the way, I've forgotten until out here, like how fast he is. And so sometimes when you're playing against a receiver, you say, man, you better either get him at the line or you better be on top of him. With him, so many times there were so many, run after catch plays that we had a tackling plan. And how would you go about it? And then I can remember one time, like he just ran by somebody down the field on a deep ball. And I was like, yeah, I forgot about that. So it didn't surprise me, but it was like, maybe I missed talking about it to that space, because it was easily reminded like he's one of the fastest players on the team.
Wow.
You think this was a defensive response? See, I saw the Dove Kleinman tweet where he wrote, "Yikes, new Commanders wide receiver Debo Samuel has gone viral for looking extremely slow," all caps, running routes at minicamp. One fan even joked that it looks like he's running with a piano on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's clearly Dan Quinn heard the critiques and the criticism, and he's defending his guy. He's defending Debo. That's what head coaches do.
Yeah, I don't think he's lying though. If he says he's one of the fastest guys on the team, I believe him. You think he's lying?
I just
I mean,
Because coaches don't lie ever.
I would like to see him race everybody on the team. I'd like to see confirmation.
Well,
I didn't hear
top
the
10. I'll say he's top 10.
I don't know if you brought this up. I didn't hear the show
Maybe.
yesterday, but last year he was recorded at running over 20 miles per hour on one of his catches.
Was he?
Yes.
What? Yeah. You have to give context, though.
I think it was one of the fastest.
Yeah.
It was, like a pass over the middle that he then took.
Look, my overall take is
For
I trust
40
those
yards.
guys. So whatever they say, if they say he looks great, he's fast, guys, don't worry, he's fine. I believe them. This until proven otherwise. The only one that I would question in my own way, again, I hate to be annoying, is Lattimore because I didn't see with my own eyes.
And Lattimore's saying that he feels healthier and more comfortable, right?
Yeah, he's saying all the right things.
Yeah.
So let's see, and hopefully he's right. I mean, guys had revivals when we signed Zach Ertz. There was a lot of mocking going around, but probably around the league.
Sure. I don't think any of us thought he was going to play every game.
No.
We're like, this
no
guy
way.
gets hurt all the time.
I don't think anybody thought he could have the turnaround that he had, like the turn back the clock bit that he did. So, maybe Lattimore could do it. Lattimore's not as old, but Lattimore's probably had 4 years since he's been anywhere near consistent. And maybe you could say the same about Debo.
So Quinn was talking about Jaden and where he is in year 2. You play cut 1?
I've always felt he had real control of things, and we work at the line of scrimmage a lot, and he's really comfortable in that. He was always somebody that, really was on his details. What I guess seeing now is just the accuracy, the footwork, so more of his body mechanics that he wanted to emphasize. I see that coming through in his play. I see the speed, that he's, out on the edge with. So those are the things that during the off-season time that, like, you can really push it. So we had one where he had a keeper yesterday. He turned it in, where he was up the sideline for 30 or 40 yards. And he was one of the fastest players on the field on that play. And so those are the ones that, okay, that's a person being aggressive to go take their shot. And then I would say the individual time with new players, he did some of that last year. Honestly, like when Noah came, I can remember him like staying after and working with him, but seeing him put in the work with different people who are new to him and to the organization, I think that like speaks of the leadership. It's not anything that I asked him to do, but he knew for that person and him to be in sync, there had to be some unseen work together. And so those would be a few of the things.
I don't think anybody's surprised by any of that. But there are high expectations. I think later in the show, we're going to go through Chris Sims' quarterback rankings. And I don't know, you might be surprised where he has Jaden in the rankings. But yeah, attention to detail, calmness,
speed,
beyond the athletic traits that jump out at you. Those are the things that I just, wow, the poise that guy had last year, that was remarkable for me.
The speed comment is why I don't think the rushing is going to go down dramatically.
No, he's going to take advantage of that.
I just think he won't need it as much.
It's part of why they drafted him. And we knew that from the moment that Quinn joined us on the show and said game changer. They want a guy like that can make plays.
They want the dual threat. That no one's taking away the dual threat, but I think that if the play hopefully won't collapse around him as much, he won't need to do that. We'll see. See how it plays out. Maybe he'll rush for 1,500 yards. Who knows? I doubt it, but let's see. See how it plays out.
That would be amazing.
I don't think anybody's going to say that Jaden Daniels is running like he has a piano on his back.
No. Nobody's questioning his speed.
I definitely would take Jaden over Debo in a race.
And nobody's calling Jaden Daniels.
Cakes wants them all to line up.
Did you see yesterday that Commander Socials did a whoopsie-daisy?
Oh, they did a whoopsie?
Yeah, and then they posted Debo again the following day after they saw. I think they probably saw all of the comments,
of course,
and everything.
Yeah.
So they posted a video of Debo like running a slant pattern.
Saw that
where he looked like a little was shiftier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think since it's this mandatory OTA, like you touch him and everyone kind of stops.
Yeah,
almost like two-hand touch football, and then he kept running. So he looked butt fast while everyone was just kind of.
So you're thinking it was deceptive? Listen,
I don't know if it's deceptive, but they posted another one of them because
it is what it is. They're not going to down their own guy in camp, but they've made a point of saying how pleased they've been with him. I think you would hear rumblings. My experience of doing this for 30 years, I think you'd hear rumblings behind the scenes if they were disappointed.
I don't think they're not disappointed, but
yeah,
I think maybe people think that they're getting the Debo from 2 years ago. But Debo's still good.
Wasn't he even last year number 2 in yak for receivers? Like there may be a bit of being defensive, talking about his speed, but Quinn has emphasized that, here's the quote, our job as coaches is to try to put them in those spaces where they can really excel. So I don't think we're thinking, and I don't think they're going to put him in spots where he's their deep threat. He's their burner. He's going to be a guy that they're going to use in a bunch of ways to play to his strengths, which is the yards after the catch.
And that's what Cliff should do.
Which might be the short passes over the middle. He's probably not going to run many go routes where they just expect him to fly by corners.
Of course, they're going to give him some handoffs. They don't want him to be 160 pounds.
The list I'm looking at, Debo is not in the top 25 of yak last year. No,
he's had a down year.
Yeah,
maybe it was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. Is that a lot of people think that Debo's still a good wide receiver. No one's not saying he's trash. But I'm saying people think that you're going to get the Debo from 2 years ago, where he went off, didn't miss a game, had 1,400 receiving yards. But 2 years ago is in eternity in NFL terms.
I mean, if they do get that Debo, that's great. A huge bonus for them.
Listen, I just think this. I think that as a team...
Sorry, 4 years ago.
As a team, we're going to score more points. And that's hard to do. We scored a lot of points last year. We were like 28 plus. I think overall we're going to score more. I don't give a crap how. I think we're going to be more, and we have a tougher schedule.
So I just retweeted what I'd seen yesterday. This was from Next Gen Stats. Last season, Debo reached the top speed of 20.9 miles per hour on his 76-yard touchdown reception, his fastest speed since week 14 in 2019. So it had been 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And his third time reaching 20-plus miles per hour this season, which was tied for third in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure he can get up and go if he needs to.
He was 21st in yak last year, 8.3 per catch.
Right. Listen, I'm Team Debo. Think he's going to be good. Think he's going to be a solid contributor. Don't know the numbers. They almost don't even matter. Weapon. He's a weapon. Did we hear more information on Noah Brown yesterday?
Haven't heard anything on him.
Just that they were going to do an MRI right?
on the knee.
I have no update. I know he's getting an MRI today, this afternoon. So, I don't want to speculate on what. MRI today. Yep. Okay.
So we should hear something today because that was recorded yesterday.
When they said
he limped off the field, slammed his helmet,
and then they carted him off.
That said, you could tear an ACL and walk right off the field. I mean, I tore my ACL and drove home.
My son tore his ACL, walked off the field. Next day, walked a lot better. I was actually thinking, maybe he didn't tear it.
Yeah.
You're walking fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then wobbly.
Well, then they do the test, and then they do the MRI, and then you see he did. What was interesting to me is they gave the anecdote yesterday that when they hit a bump, that they could hear him screaming. Mm-hmm. Who said that? Somebody said they heard him scream when he hit Ben Standig.
And then Linnell said it,
reiterated it, right?
Yeah, but Linnell's version of the scream seemed a little more vicious.
Yeah, than Ben's.
Yeah.
So if he screamed, when my son did two things, he tore his ACL 1 year, and then he also dislocated his shoulder, tore his labrum. When he tore his labrum and it was dislocated and it was hanging, he was screaming for an hour until we could get to the hospital, and they finally put it back in. I raced to the hospital with him in the car, and I hit a speed bump because I didn't care about the speed bump. I was just trying to get there as fast as I could. And when we landed, he screamed. So it made me think, he didn't dislocate his knee, did he? I guess not, because he was walking. It'd be impossible to walk if you dislocated your knee.
I don't know.
Probably. I don't know. It'd be super painful.
I think it'd be impossible to walk if you dislocated your knee. I think. It's probably an ACL. He probably heard it pop. He probably knows exactly what it is. That would be my guess.
Let's just hope for the best.
That sucks.
Sucks.
He used to really. I mean, last season he was like the pass interference king, right?
Yeah, but you
All
know
those deep shots.
the good
How many
thing-
pass interferences did he draw last season?
I don't know. But the Gallup signing was underreported. No one's talking about Gallup.
Well, he
And
wasn't
maybe
practicing.
he's not been practicing. Maybe he'll be cut, but it's an opportunity for him to make a play for a roster spot if Noah Brown is out. So, I don't know. Why was Gallup not practicing? Just resting him, or does he have something that's nicked?
I thought he was hurt.
And I like the guy Ja'Cory Brooks, the free agent.
You like the long shot.
I know this always irks JP, but I'm okay with talking about the sixth receiver. He has 15 catches. I don't know. One of those 15 might be huge.
I mean, I'm rooting for Michael Gallup, but he didn't even play last year. In his last 2 years, he had 418 and 424 yards receiving.
Right. Again,
So I wouldn't expect a lot.
you're not. It's again, but it's just that you just need the people to do the job, and he could fill in. Not necessarily looking for stars. We got our stars. Name's Terry McLaurin.
Who's not currently in camp.
He'll be there.
I know he'll be there, but
Yeah.
I mean, the wide receiver room's kind of in shambles right now, if you think about it. No Terry, Noah Brown goes out. Jury's out on Debo. At least this jury is out
I disagree
on
with
Debo
that. I disagree
over
with that.
here.
I don't think it's in shambles. I think they'll have Terry. I think they'll have Debo. I think they got a second-year guy in Luke McCaffrey.
All right, shambles may be rough. It's not in great shape.
I think it's going to be fine. It may not thrill fantasy owners, but I think it's going to contribute to them scoring over 28 points per game.
Let's hope that's the case.
Yeah.
Here's Quinn kind of summing up where they are and trying not to get ahead of themselves in terms of the expectations for a team that made it all the way to the NFC Championship game last season.
To know that there are those, Kenny, I think that's good because it knows we're in the right space to do that, where we have a chance to go, do the things that are really, really important for us. So at the start of the offseason, it was really just about what kind of skills we could get. And so we try to just live our professional lives in these segments. And so this is what we wanted to get accomplished during this time. This is over the next little, in this break, and we're calling it a break. It's more for coaches and all of you, I hope too, to recharge, to get ready. But for the players, this is another space that they go to really see. So then when we get back to training camp, I'll have some clear goals for us, packages, identity, play style, things that you couldn't do during this time. The padded practices, we're talking about the contact. So there's specific parts of that where like the training camp piece, I would say that might be the most important time for a lineman compared to an off-season program, where you're working your skills, but you're not pushing against another, giant human. So those are specific things that you can only accomplish during that time. So we just try to segment it and not think too far down, but say, okay, what can I get done over this next short block? And if we stay in those pockets, Candy, I think that leads to not wandering way down, but just knowing I got a choice to make today and I got to go for it. And then, another one to come. But those choices are easy if you want to slip, not do the workout, but it is a choice and say I really got to go. That's why so many times doing teammates working out together so much easier. Hey, come on, man, we're going on those, especially the days you're maybe I'll chill. No, you're not. We're going at this time and you go. So those are fun.
At least the beginning part of that, loosely translated, is we have a superstar quarterback in Jaden Daniels, and we can do some work. We can get where we need to be with him.
It's the first time that I listened to Quinn and I just wasn't super motivated. He was just kind of droning.
He didn't motivate you to do something today?
I don't know if it's because it was 6:30 in the morning. But it was a lot of gobbledygook.
Yeah, but he's also talking about downtime.
I know.
He's talking about the time between.
He usually makes me want to run into a brick wall.
And training camp.
I don't know if it's an indictment of me or him, but it's just here we are in June, and I wasn't super inspired by that answer either way.
Well, you know what? Maybe he was mentally checking out. Maybe he's ready for his week long.
He was flaming a little bit.
He was kind of droning on a little bit, but it's fine. I'm team everybody over there except for Lattimore.
Didn't we have a story last week? I don't know if we did it, that people mentally check out like 2 or 3 days before they actually take their vacations.
Yeah.
2
Like,
days before your I think there's a large percentage of people, workers, who are already on vacation in their mind 2 days before they physically leave for vacation.
So like next Wednesday, late in the show,
you're out.
I'm already in sunny San Diego.
He'll be missing drops and everything.
Oh yeah, I'll just be sloppy.
We'll say turkey 10,000 times and he won't hit the button.
But I know people might be thinking.
I'm dialed in right now though.
Turkey.
There you go.
Isn't it kind of weird that we're no? The season is going to be here before you know it. By the end of this weekend, we're going to be done with the second major. All right, that means we're halfway through.
Right.
July 4th is around the corner.
Yep.
And what time? When do they report?
Isn't it the third major?
Yeah, we're out in the third.
Change
we're
it?
at the third.
They're going to be done with the third major, right?
Camp's always end of July, like 27th, 28th, something in that range.
I think
we're
we're
going to be here before you know it.
I
dude.
think we're 11 Sundays away from the season.
Let's
week
go.
1.
That's
from week
go.
1. But like officially recording a mini camp and it's on daily
Oh yeah.
is a month and a half away.
Yes.
That's going to be here before we know.
It's like 5 weeks away.
It's big.
5-ish
For
weeks
those
away.
guys, their off season's over.
You're gonna hate it.
Who for the players?
You're gonna hate because as soon as we get to camp, you guys are like, "Oh, it's just taking forever.
That might be
this
true.
Is no fun."
But I'm just
We
saying.
just start the games already.
Let's
do wins and
is all
losses
true.
again.
That is all true. I
Oh,
don't.
we do need to do dubs and L's again at some point.
Well, we do that after the preseason.
Well, I'm
games.
just doing it right
Yeah.
now. It's funny you say that because I pulled up the schedule as Quinn was droning, and I was looking at it. I mean, I'm having a hard time not seeing a good start. I'm having a hard time not seeing a good start.
I think I chalked up 12 or 13 dubs. I put a lot of W's on
No,
the
I
board.
think down the stretch it gets harder. You know, like halfway through, once you start playing, you know, Kansas City's, Detroit.
This is looking ahead, but we may have to burn the Commanders week 1 survivor. I mean, they should just beat up the Giants at Northwest Stadium.
If they lose, you know what?
You've said that before.
I know.
About that.
Even though it's a
specific
division
opponent.
I
rival.
understand.
Even though it's a division rival, it's a 5-alarm fire if we lose week 1.
It's Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Didn't Mike?
I'm not
it
scared
wasn't-
of
I thought
Russell
Mike
Wilson.
Clay's projection was that they were barely favored in that game.
Yeah, well, I don't care what I'm telling you.
Hey,
What I
I'm coming off
Well,
being,
he thinks it's a survivor gimme.
scarred for life by the stupid Cincinnati Bengals when they were like a 9-point favorite.
I don't know that.
Okay, last year opener.
You know, the week 1 against the division rival. I'm not sure. I would say it would be a survivor gimme, but we should win that game.
I saw that
They
viral
might have a
video
nasty
of
pass rush.
that defensive line.
But Abdul, everybody's talking about him.
Abdul,
Thibodeau.
Brian Burns, and Kayvon.
Yeah.
All right.
You know
all
who's
right.
faster than all those guys? Jaden Daniels. It's faster.
He can be the fastest guy on earth if they're playing like that video that was showed the other day.
Mhm.
He's cooked.
Cake's acting like he's never been sacked.
Yeah. I mean,
Fast quarterbacks never get sacked.
We sacked 8 times in a game last year.
Yeah.
Hey, I have faith in JD5.
All right, got to take a break. You want to chime in? 800-636-1067. We're the Junkies. Coming right back.